German devotee. I know so many people, young people, that when they see us chanting on the street, I can see their eyes that they really want to chant also. But something is stopping them. Prabhupada, that is Maya. Maya is there. Therefore Krishna says, the Maya is very strong. But if you capture Krishna very more strongly, then Maya cannot do anything. If something is opposing your chanting, then you will have to chant more loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So you defeat Maya. The medicine is the same. At least I do so. When I am in some danger, I chant Hare Krishna loudly. That's all. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. There is a song. Jai Sakal Bipod Bhaktivinoda Bole Jakhom O Nam Goy. He says, as soon as I chant this Hare Krishna, I become immediately free from all dangers. Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 9 and Text 23. Eshaha Prapanna Varadaha Ramaya Atmashaktya Yat Yat Karishyati Grihita Gunavataraha Tasmin Swavikramam Idam Shujataha Api Chetaha Yunjita Karma Samalam Cha Yatha Vijahyam Esha Prapanna Varado Ramayatma Shaktya Yad Yad Karishyati Gruhita Gunavataraha Tasmin Swavikramamidam Sujatopi Cheto Yunjita Karma Samalam Cha Yatha Vijahyam Esha Prapanna Varado Ramayatma Shaktya Yad Yad Karishyati Grihita Gunavataraha Tasmin Swavikramamidam Sujatopi Cheto Yunjita Karma Samalam Cha Yatha Vijahyam. Eshaha, this, Prapanna, one who is surrendered, Varadaha, benefactor, Ramaya, enjoying always with goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, Atma Shaktya, with his internal potency, Yat Yat, whatever, Karishyati, he may act, Grihita, accepting, Gunavataraha, incarnation of the mode of goodness, Tasmin, unto him, Swavikramam, with omnipotency, Idham, this cosmic manifestation, Shrujataha, creating, Api, in spite of, Chetaha, heart, Yunjita, be engaged, Karma, work, Shamalam, material affection, Cha, also, Yatha, as much as, Vijahyam, I can give up. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation: the Supreme Lord, the Personality of Godhead, is always the benefactor of the surrendered souls. His activities are always enacted through His internal potency, Ramā, or the goddess of fortune. I pray only to engage in His service in the creation of the material world, and I pray that I not be materially affected by my works, for thus I may be able to give up the false prestige of being the Creator. Please repeat. The Supreme Lord, the Personality of Godhead, is always the benefactor of the surrendered souls. His activities are always enacted through His internal potency, Ramā, or the goddess of fortune. I pray only to engage in His service in the creation of the material world. I pray that I not be materially affected by my works, for thus I may be able to give up the false prestige of being the Creator. Purport by Sri Prabhupada. In the matter of material creation, maintenance and destruction, there are three incarnations of the material modes of nature, Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. But the Lord's incarnation as Vishnu in His internal potency is the supreme energy for the total activities. Brahma, who is only an assistant in the modes of creation, wanted to remain in his actual position as an instrument of the Lord instead of becoming puffed up by the false prestige of thinking himself the Creator. That is the way of becoming dear to the Supreme Lord and receiving His benediction. Foolish men want to take credit for all creations made by them, but intelligent persons know very well that not a blade of grass can move without the will of the Lord. Thus all the credit for wonderful creations must go to Him. By spiritual consciousness only can one be free from the contamination of material affection and receive the benedictions offered by the Lord. Dashanstha Bhaktivedanta Purport. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Dhananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prachadine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Lord Brahma in these verses is appealing to the Lord now for creative energy. In the last verse we have seen he is praying to the Lord for empowerment, for the introspection to create. And then here he is calling out to the Lord as Prapanna Varada. He is always the benefactor of the surrendered souls. Sometimes we go through any reversals in life, and then things are not going on as per our wish. Mind creates a fear that what will happen to my situation. This is the first response of the mind. It creates fear. And then we think that the mind can also feel that it's been treated very harshly. Why this harsh situation for me? And sometimes we may get a picture that Krishna or the Almighty Lord is very, very tough, very strict. And unless we follow everything perfectly, there is nothing he is not going to be merciful. On the other hand, Brahma is saying is Prapanna Varadaha. He is always the benefactor, always the benefactor of the surrendered souls. Whole Vedic literature, everywhere we can see, continuously this point is being told to us that the Lord is very loving. He is extremely loving. Particularly Prapanna Varada. If somebody is surrendered or trying to surrender, Krishna is all loving. God is always loving. The only thing is that when we are in the midst of a tough situation, difficult to realize the God's love. How is it this? I am going through so much of turmoil and it's God's love? What kind of a love is this? So, here Krishna is saying, Lord Brahma is saying, Esha Prapanna Varado, he remains always the benefactor. Now this is a crucial point. Whatever comes to our life, apparently it may look like not very good, not palatable. We should know that it is a beneficial work, because he is a benefactor, always he is a benefactor. This is also Varadaha, Prapanna Varadaha. I am trying to surrender to my spiritual master, his instructions, to the process that he gave. So that means certainly Lord will be very kind to me, and everything that comes to my life is Varada. That's a benediction, and he remains the benefactor. Now, this should be the thinking of a devotee. At no point of time we should feel that we are helpless and become panicky. That looks like everything I have to save myself, or I have to protect myself. But actually, the Shastras repeatedly bring to this point that Lord is always the Varada, benefactor of the surrendered souls. So as soon as we feel that Krishna is with me, he has sent this particular situation, so I am safe. This is also a benediction. But why am I not able to understand this benediction? It is mentioned here, Ramaya Atma Shaktya Yad Yad Karishyati. Whatever he does it through his internal potency. He always remains the enjoyer of the internal potency. Always the internal potency is under his control and he acts only through his internal potency. In the translation, Prabhupada is saying his activities are always enacted through his internal potency. Ramā, a goddess of Lakshmi. So, since his activities are under internal potency and we are under material potency, we will not be able to realize how it is actually a benediction. That's why we need help of an acharya to really understand what's going on. What's going on is actually a benediction, but what your mind thinks is something else. Why? Because we are absorbed in material potency. A conditioned soul is continuously absorbed in mind. It surrenders to mind. Instead of surrendering to Krishna, Prapanna Varada, we become completely absorbed in mind. This is the situation of a conditioned soul. But if you know that his activities are always internal potency, now I need to see what exactly going on, because internal potency we don't understand so much. We got used to this material potency. Material potency means these three emotions will come. Vita, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. First Bhaya comes. Oh, what is happening to my life? Bhaya. Hey Radha Govinda ki jai. Then Bhaya or attachment or anger. These three emotions will haunt the living entity. Vitaraga Bhaya. That's why Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha, Manmaya, Mam Upashrita. You have to be free from these three emotions. And then what should I do? Upashrita. One should take shelter of Krishna alone. Krishna and Krishna's internal energy. So they are very practical, because emotions means we go through the whole day, all these emotions. So Krishna is saying that we have to be free from this and rather use these emotions to depend on Krishna. We cannot make emotions nullified. You cannot make everything zero. But we have to know how to understand this benediction of the Lord and then surrender to the internal potency. So when something comes to us, say as a sickness, as a reversal, as some kind of an issue or whatever, the first thing is, okay, now how should I see this? As an act of internal potency. Because Krishna cannot be cruel or cannot be otherwise. He is a very extremely loving personality, particularly to his devotees. Even somebody who chants his name, holy name, even jokingly, he becomes very pleased. Now what to talk about the devotees who are 24 hours trying to serve his holy name. 24 hours trying to remember him. How much he will be, he acts as a benefactor. So, that's why one has to read Srila Prabhupada books regularly, scrutinizingly. applying, how to apply these instructions and these sentences in his life, he continuously works. Why? Because they are all activities of internal potency. Those are all statements of internal potency. These books of Srila Prabhupada, they are full of internal potency. You don't see one line which is actually written under the influence of material potency. This is the beauty of his books. So, by reading Srila Prabhupada books scrutinizingly, like here Prabhupada is saying in the last of the purport, by spiritual consciousness only can one be free from the contamination of material affection and receive the benedictions offered by the Lord. Now, Lord is sending the benedictions, you have to receive. Now, how can you receive these benedictions? Only by spiritual consciousness. What is this spiritual consciousness? The consciousness which is described in Prabhupada books. How somebody takes these reversals or this kind of adverse situations in life. Now, the Acharya, Brahma himself explains how to take all this, and that becomes the basis of our whole. This particular verse you have to read again and again and again and understand what Brahma is saying through the parampara. Tattenukampa susamikshamaano. Lord Brahma is saying, yes, all the adverse situations should be seen as benediction of the Lord only. But then why is it that this has come? It is because I have done some sinful activities in the past and the reactions are coming to me. Those reactions are being minimized and it has been turned into a benediction, and then let me receive this benediction. Krishna, Guru and Krishna, they take away our karma. Our entire karma, the whole file is with them. And then when a certain thing is coming, Kala is bringing the karmic reaction to our life, Guru and Krishna will transform that as a benediction. But only thing is that you have to carefully receive it. One should accept this as a benediction. You may say, no, there is a lot of pain in my body. How this can be benediction? I can feel the pain. It is not mental. I can actually feel the pain. Now how is it that it is a benediction? So this is the first step in our life, that it has come, there is some pain is there, okay, this is, first is to accept. Yes, there is a pain, yes, it is benediction of the Lord. And the devotee, he uses everything for Krishna's service. So how can I use this pain in Krishna's service? Devotees use these pains and pleasures in order to become more attached to Krishna, more sincere to Krishna's service. No force is useless. In the force of the pain, painful forces are also can be utilized. They can be given a way. So, internally, one has to channel all these forces to enhance his attachment to Krishna. Instead of becoming angry on Krishna, that why all these things are coming to me, a properly situated devotee, he uses everything to become more attached to Krishna. And if he becomes more attached, then he will become free from material affection. Contamination of the material affection. Our whole issue is this material affection, attached to the matter. And when the matter gives suffering, then what happens? The devotee will become, he understands this is useless. My attachment to this body, my attachment to this matter, this is useless. This is so painful. Then why should I get attached to all this? So then he genuinely gets attached to Krishna. This is a very important principle. Unless you get attached to Krishna, you cannot get fed up with this bodily attachment, material affection. So that's why that's a benediction. If your affection for the body comes down a bit, that is certainly a benediction. So Krishna, even if apparently he has given a pain to you, and you will realize, yes, this is how the life is, and then let me become more serious about my affection towards Krishna. So these are all. So that's why he is. Brahma is now expressing his fear. He is saying, "My Lord, I don't want to get attached to my works as a creator of this universe. Tasmin sa vikarmam idam srujatopi." Even if I am creating this universal various things, various planetary situations, he is giving bodies to various living entities. Although I am doing this service, idam srujatopi chetaha. This he is saying karma shamalam. Shamalam means material affection. Let me not materially affected while I am doing my service to you. Very practical prayer Brahma is making. So when Brahmaji is about to create the whole universal situation, it's a very big task. And he is praying to the Lord for creative energy. We saw in the last verse he is saying, please empower me. But he is also praying, let me not get contaminated by karma shamalam, material affection. What is this material affection? When he sees that big creations are coming from him, by his thinking, by his intelligence, by his execution, big things are getting manifested, there is a tendency to feel, yes, it's all done by me. That is called karma shamalam. The affection will, we get attached to what is the work that we have done. This is our problem. We get attached to the works, our creations. Our creation will affect our consciousness. Let us say somebody has created something, a nice poster. Yes, I created this. By my intelligence I have created this. Somebody has constructed a temple. Somebody has created a good system. Like that, there are so many creations that comes forth through us. But a devotee is worried that these creations should not affect me. Somebody may preach to somebody and he may become devotee. It's also one creation. I created a devotee. And then we get attached. With the devotee, if somebody becomes devotee through us, we become attached. We start supporting him, and whatever little devotion that he shows, we become attached. We take pride. Yes, it's all my creation. See how nicely it's all happening. This is our problem. Karma shamalam. Our works, they create this kind of a emotion or attitude, affection. We become attached. How do we overcome this affection? Yatha vijahyam. How can I give up? So, Prabhupada is explaining the secret. He is saying, any intelligent person know very well that not a blade of grass can move without the will of the Lord. Thus all the credit for wonderful creations must go to Him. All the credit for wonderful creations must go to Him. So this is the Prabhupada says, this is the way of becoming dear to the Lord and receiving His benediction. But if somebody becomes puffed up by false prestige, thinking he is the creator, he will be implicated in his works. So this is what Brahma's fear is. Let me not become proud, let me not become falsely, my false prestige. One should not get affected by. He develops a false prestige. I have done so much. So some kind of a prestige he wants. And if something goes wrong and then prestige becomes agitated, he becomes agitated. So that's why one should give all credit to Krishna. See, for Brahma, it is very easy to see that how much, he can see how Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, how he created the whole, the stem and the universal, that lotus. The whole work is seen by Brahma, and he knows he is the creator of all these things. Brahma is not artificially claiming all this is done by me. And he knows unless he decides, I will not be able to create further creation. Sargo Visarga. I will not be able to do Visarga. Secondary creation. Brahma is only a secondary creator. And after Brahma there are many creators. Third, fourth, fifth. We are like, down the line, millionth creator. Brahma is a secondary creator. First creator is Vishnu. Then, so we are like a very small instruments to do some creations now. Whatever little creations are required. Lord props up some instrument and then he creates. One has to see this entire chain of creators. Even now Brahma is active. In his department, any creations, without his involvement, nothing will happen. But he himself is a secondary creator. One has to see that behind me there is a big chain of arrangements are there. With the background of that arrangement, I am able to do something today. So how can I take 100% credit for this? One has to see the kind of background work, background support that I am getting. Without seeing all that, if one wants to take complete credit, there is a little credit is there that he has done a service. But then one should not assume 100% credit for himself. So that's why it's called karma shamalam. The work has produced such a nice result. One assumes 100% credit for that. If something goes wrong, you will not take it. You will say, not by me. We want to take credit for the good results, but we don't want to accept anything that has gone wrong. So that is called karma shamalam. We become affected by our own creations. So that's why here Brahmaji is praying to Krishna, my Lord, let me not come under this influence of karma shamalam. Happily let me do my services under your shelter, You are actually doing, and I am the face, but actually behind me only you are there. You are doing it, and I am happy that I have been used as an instrument. Some opportunity I got to do something, and then a devotee is happy. But one thing that devotee has to do is he has to take initiative. That is under the control of the devotee. If everything is done by the Lord, then what should I do? Should I do something or not? Yes, a devotee has to take initiative. He has to have the drive. Yes, I want to do. While he is taking initiative, he knows that so many background arrangements are done by Krishna. See, here you see Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, how many arrangements he is doing? The whole arrangement started with Mahavishnu, Shodashakalam, 16 elements, everything he created. Then comes Garbha. We have seen all this, so many times we are reading. It all shows what kind of background arrangements Vishnu is making. This is his establishment. Vishnu's establishment, this entire universe. Without the owner's sanction, you cannot even drive a nail in the wall. That is outside rental, you are in a rented place. You cannot make any modification without the permission of the owner. We remember when we were in the old that rented building, if you are driving some nails also, the owner will be upset. Why are you putting so many nails? He will ask. For everything you have to ask him. That is the owner's role. In this universe, anything you want to do, owner has to agree. Even if you want to drive a nail also, he has to agree. He has to permit. Unless he permits, you will not be able to drive a nail. After driving the nail, you don't think, yes, whatever I want, I could do. No. Krishna has permitted, then only you are able to drive a nail there. So you have to take the initiative and don't listen to your mind, listen to Guru, spiritual consciousness. Read Prabhupada books. If Krishna wants, I can do anything. Let me just try, let me take the drive, let me have initiative, then I can, if Krishna wishes, I can be successful. By his mercy, I can become successful. Prabhupada in once he talks about some example in his own life. He says his, I think, second sister, I think, she is not getting married. She was that time around, I think, 13 years. According to those days standard, is already late. She is just 13 years, it's already late. So parents are all becoming very restless. And so one day one boy came, somebody brought a match, and then everybody felt that he is looking good, is very nice. And Prabhupada also, as a brother, he interacts with that boy. And then once they all went away, everybody looks at Abhay and says, "No, what do you say?" Because they all know, Abhay is very intelligent, so he will assess. He's all looks wise and all that is looking okay, but then they wanted to hear him. Now Prabhupada says, "He's useless, Abhay." Then they say, "How are you saying this?" I was trying to ask some things and I can see that he doesn't have any drive. He doesn't have any drive to do any work. A lazy fellow. So he says, he's useless. So as a jiva, we have to have the drive to do something. Take up the mission of Prabhupada and do. Always take initiative. Then Krishna is there, Krishna's arrangements, Guru's arrangements, already it's all done. If you take little initiative, you are there. So that taking initiative is the very important quality, and devotees, by taking initiatives in Krishna's service, they can be free from Maya and they can be happy. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, we understand from the philosophy which is taught by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that we have to be humble, as exemplified by Sri Rupa and Sri Sanatana Goswami and other acharyas. In material life, the humbleness means different, and in spiritual life, humble means different, Prabhu. I have 3 questions regarding that, Prabhu. First is, does being humble mean being indifferent towards honor or being absorbed in Krishna? Second is, how can we humble without appearing weak, so that we in outside world we don't look this may be mostly applied to the people who are working outside but is still trying to practice Krishna consciousness as folks or congregation. So how can we humble without appearing weak? And third is, Prabhu, how can we be humble with those who are exploitative?
When Arjuna, he showed his humility, material humility, or a false humility. What did he say? Let them win the battle, even if they kill me unopposed. Even if they win also, I have no objection. But then I do not want to eat the food which is tainted by blood, their blood. What Arjuna is saying is, even though they are avaricious, they are very greedy and they are geared up to fight against me, but because they are all relatives and friends and all that, why should I? Because I am able to see what is the danger of this fighting. So I will not fight. Even if they want to kill me, let them kill me and let them enjoy. I don't want to enjoy. This is a very nice humility in the outside world, if somebody says okay. But Krishna is not encouraging that. He is saying, Arjuna, you stand up and fight. You are a military commander. You have to stand up and fight. Why are you running away from your service? No, fighting involves killing others. Doesn't matter. Fight and kill. And when Arjuna is angry and killing people, that is considered humility. This is surprising. Very angry, and is killing thousands and thousands and thousands. Arjuna is very humble. This is the definition of humility. Humility means to take initiative in the service of God. What Krishna wants, trying to do, that is the humility. Not our imagination. What is the... No, Prabhu, I am not capable, I am very, not very educated, I am not this, I am not that, so I will not do. This is not humility. Running away from our service, not taking initiative, that is not considered. Under the name of humility, we should not think like that. Like in the last class also I was mentioning, we should think, if Krishna wants, I can do anything. Bhakti Siddhanta used to say, if somebody says, where are you going? He will not say, I am going there. He will say, I am going there if Krishna permits. So this is the humility. We will say, yes, I can make a big donor, or I can meet any person if Krishna wants, Krishna wills, Krishna permits. That's all. He is saying, no, I am such a tiny being, what can I will not be able. No, you take the initiative. Devotee's humility is dependence on Krishna. Krishna has permitted this service to me. He has, like here Brahma is saying, my Lord, you have given me this service of a creator, so please empower me. But at the same time, karma shamalam, I don't want to be affected by the result. So similarly, devotee is also praying, my Lord, yes, you have made me this service, you have given me this service, I will do it. But let me not get affected by my own works. Please empower me so that I can do my services. Actually, devotees can happily pray to Krishna, my Lord, my Guru has given me this service, please give me empowerment. Pray to Acharyas. Pray to Guru himself to give you strength, give you Shakti. He will bless you. And then after you take your initiative, you try your best, something comes to you, some result comes to you, take it as Krishna's blessing. Why Krishna has not given so much? Why he has given only little? Or you are not expected, but he gave so much? It's all up to him. We accept it. Now coming to, if somebody comes to exploit you, now how should I be? As I said, you should continue to execute your service. You should not allow the exploitation of others. Nowadays they try to exploit even sadhus also. Even temple devotees also. First time Prabhupada comes from America to India, he comes to Vrindavan for taking treatment. When he comes, he lands up in the late night and then he takes an auto to go to, in Delhi only there is some place. And then after reaching that the destination, the auto wala is demanding more money. The common, no? He is, instead of 40 he is asking 50 or 60 or whatever. Prabhupada doesn't give. And you can't believe, and Kitanananda was with him, Prabhupada. And Kitanananda is watching, what will Prabhupada do? And that fellow is, he is not giving money back. He gave some 50 rupee note and he is keeping and then he is going away. Prabhupada doesn't. He argues. There is a big argument between auto driver. Prabhupada is not leaving. And finally that auto wala gives back the whatever that balance money and then Prabhupada goes away. Actually that's the first time Prabhupada spends that 40 rupees. What he carried to America, that 40 rupees he is using for this auto. He has spent in India. Not even 1 paisa Prabhupada is to leave to these auto walas or anybody. You agreed for 10 rupees, 20 rupees, only that much, that's all. He will not allow any cheating. This is Krishna's money. Why should I give it to him? This is Krishna's money. This is humility. Prabhupada is very humbly, he is shouting and negotiating. He is very humble. So we should not allow exploitation to be coming to us. And in a situation we have to behave very soberly, very confidently, we should behave. A devotee, he represents Krishna appropriately to the situation. Humble doesn't mean no. They calls you on a stage and then they are giving you a big garland and all that, he receives. But inside he knows. It's all inside. He knows that yes, behind me there is a big thing, big arrangement. I have become the instrument to receive. Somebody has to receive on the stage. So that opportunity I have got. So I am receiving. But it's actually Guru's mercy, Guru's institution. I am just representing in a certain way. Okay, so Chanakya Pandit says, if somebody comes to you for cheating, you should also cheat him off. You should not allow him to cheat. There are very important instructions. So humility doesn't mean anybody and everybody can walk on you and then you are all like that. Because Tronadapi Sunechena, I have to be like grass. So grass means what? Somebody puts this thing, you're living like a grass. No, that's all internal mode. Externally you should be very smart, otherwise people will cheat you. You should not allow any cheating to come. People will cheat you. Devotees should be very alert. Sometimes they come and they ask in a very nice language and then they try to take loan from you. They take away your hard-earned money. You are such a nice devotee and this and that and all, and take away your money. And then, so long you are earning and saving money, and then this fellow, somebody comes and takes away in the name of, sometimes in the name of some good work and this and that. We should not. Practicing devotees, they should be very careful with all this. People come in various ways. Some stranger will come, he may also put some battu and this and that, and they'll come and say, Prabhu, this, no, give money. We should not. We should carefully see what is his situation. Take guidance from your, other Vaishnavas. Because if he takes away money from you, see, your money is Krishna's money because you will use it for Krishna's service. A devotee uses for Krishna's service. But that fellow takes away money, he will use it for some drinking, some drugging and this and that. He will become more sinful and you are becoming part of that. So you should be very careful not to leave even 1 paisa in his hand. If he is really a Vaishnava and then you want to help, that's a different issue. Let us say you purchase some prasadam and give it to some people. Not an issue. You can give. Because with prasadam what can he do? He can only eat. If he sells to somebody, okay, that's a different issue. But then at least, somebody will eat. But there is no, if money is there, there is misuse. So devotee should not be very simple and humble like that. Humility is not that. Humility is there is no respect for yourself. Internally you are thinking, it's all. Guru and Krishna has kept me in this position. Yes, I will behave according to the situation. I will enhance the prestige of the organization. I have to speak in such a way that everybody realizes the glory of this movement. This should be the mood of the devotee. No exploitation should be allowed. No cheating should be allowed. Particularly money matters. Did I cover all the points?
Yes, Prabhu. One very short and resembling question, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Sometimes in material world, a devotee who is a sadhaka, he has to promote himself also in terms of getting more material posts, or when he is working like a job or something, he has to promote himself and he has to boast himself. So I have achieved this, I have achieved that. And suppose he is a devotee also. So when it comes the underlying principle of humility, showing humility, so what is the scope of promoting himself to the eyes of others?
Yeah. For example, somebody is in the corporate, is working there, and in the corporate world, unless you promote yourself, you will not survive. You have to say, yes, I have done this, I have done that. So that is permitted. That is your kartavya. According to your duty, whatever you have to do, you do. But then, internally you know. You are always depending on Krishna, you are all depending on Guru. My Lord, unless you permit, what can I do? I cannot. But then, in the world you have to. And if he is a businessman, and you go and ask him, he will not say, anything humble, and he will say, I am giving you the best price. In the market, this is the best price to you, he will say. But actually, he must be taking a lot of profit in that. That's his part of his kartavya, his duty. He has to talk like that, otherwise who will purchase? If he becomes like a Brahmana and he will say, no, actually this is my cost, 10 paisa I am taking, and 5 paisa this, then he will say, why that 10 paisa you give me as it is money to me? He cannot survive. He has a family, he has so many things. He cannot be truthful like that. He has to tell, I am giving the best price. Mostly he would have multiplied the cost by 3 times. He will say, I am giving the best price to you. He has to say, otherwise he will not get money. So you have to do your kartavya, whatever is required, you do all those things. But internally you be conscious that without God's blessing, like yesterday or day before, Adhani, somebody is interviewing, okay, what is the cause for your growth? That the current government or current Prime Minister is behind you? He says, my hard work and God's blessings. He has to have the drive to do hard work, and then he says, God's blessing. He's not giving credit to, they're trying to see whether there is any help. He's saying, actually, that is the fact. But then why God is not giving everybody equally? Why everybody is not becoming Adani? That's a different phenomena. Okay, so if somebody working in the corporate and then he has to tell something like that, he should say, yes, I work till late night. And you don't believe what a fantastic idea this I have got. I only got this idea. Because if you don't say, I got this idea, somebody else say, I gave this idea. He will take up your... But in devotees' case, they accept the truth. What is the truth? Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu has told me, I did it. In the Vaishnava community, we accept the truth. And we have to... And what is the truth? It's a fact. Guru has given some direction, some Vaishnava has told something, I did it. Very nice. We accept the truth. In the outside world, if it is required, we may have to do that boastful talk. For example, during Kurukshetra war, the Kshatriyas are fighting and you listen to their words. He says, I have got the Pashupatastra. Even Shiva gave me this. Those are the sentences. What dam you have got? If you have any dam, you do it. And somebody is talking. He says, Kshatriyas don't talk. No hero will talk like this. Come, what do you got? You use it. This is required. As a Kshatriya, he has to entice the enemy. Hey, come on. Simply nobody talks. Hero doesn't talk, only act. He will say. And that fellow will become very angry. He will also become very angry. This is the life. As a Kshatriya, you will have to show that anger, passion. And as a Brahmana, he has to be very truthful. And Vaishya, he may have to lie because he has to get business. And then Shudras. One important quality of Shudra is that they steal. Shudras, they steal. You give whatever salary, apart from that, they also steal. So this is some Shudras qualities are there. So like that, but he will be very attached to the owner. This is a good quality in the Shudra. They are completely faithful. So on a material platform, this Varnashrama forces will be there. We may have to execute all that. But deep within, beyond all this, they also recognize that yes, Lord is there, His blessings are there. If you give credit to Krishna, that's it, you are humble. If you take everything for yourself, then it is called karma shamalam. We become contaminated. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణవాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి 9133107700. హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణవాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి 9133107700. హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణవాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు